Kermit the Frog here on Sesame Street News, and today we are going to interview the three little pigs.
Three little pigs. I will count them as you talk to them.
Well, I don't think that'll work, Count, actually.
Nonsense. Counting always works.
Oh, okay, just try to stay out of the way, would you, huh?
One knock.
Now, will you cut that out?
Yes?
Oh, Kermit the Frog of Sesame Street.
One little pig.
Who's that?
Don't pay any attention to
Who is it, Harold?
Two little pigs.
Will you cut that
I'll
out?
tell you, this frog knocks on the door first, and then all of a sudden this guy starts counting. I don't know what's going on.
It's Kermit the Frog of Sesame Street News here.
All right. Now, what's going on?
Three little pigs.
What's What was that?
Shut the door. I think it's going to rain.
Wait a second.
No more of those weirdos here.
Kermit the Frog here. I was just trying to... Thanks a lot, Count.
Your morning blitz begins now.
Have a great Friday, you mother...
Are we raising money for PBS? I'm a little confused. What was that?
So, the other morning we had the whole debate about whether Kermit was on Sesame Street or not. And
Okay.
Ronnie Hunter heard it, and she sent me this 40-minute video. It was the best of Kermit. And I started watching this dumb thing. But I got that clip, and I just thought it was funny because, you didn't think Kermit was on. But the funnier part was that the one little pig sounded just like Jay-Z. If you
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Frog knocks on the door first, and then all of a sudden this guy starts counting. I don't know what's going on.
Don't you think he sounds just like Jay-Z? Are you serious?
Not even remotely.
Oh, come on.
A little bit of a stretch.
All right.
How about that Kermit was the commencement speaker last night at the University of Maryland? Kermit the Frog. The Kermit the Frog. Not Jim Henson, obviously. Kermit the Frog spoke. We are so unserious. Like, if I spent tens of thousands of dollars, and Jim Henson graduated from University of Maryland, so I get the honor, but no. Hard pass. I don't need a Muppet.
I might be a little upset.
I don't. Everybody seemed to love it, so maybe I'm the one who's off here. But I'm like, wow. Okay, I guess Kermit. We're doing. I mean, a bunch of other people spoke as well, so it wasn't just Kermit. But
okay. No, but they always have this celebrity commencement speaker,
and
or
that
whatever.
was their celebrity commencement speaker.
Because he went there,
okay.
right?
Like, I'd rather have Karen Reed do my commencement speech than Kermit the Frog, honestly. Like, okay. Like, I love Kermit. Big part of my childhood. But, yeah.
I would be a bit taken aback if all of a sudden, like, Kermit shows up on stage. And how did they get Kermit there? Like, because obviously the speaker is underneath the podium with his hand up. So, was he sitting there the entire graduation? Or did they watch a guy walk up with Kermit on his hand, get underneath the podium, and then stick his hand
No,
up?
I feel like there had to be a trap door, and then they lift him up, behind the podium so nobody sees.
That makes sense.
Because
that would ruin the magic.
Oh, ruin the magic.
Or he's just like under the podium there, whatever.
How are you, Kelly?
Great. How are you?
Not too bad. A little tired. Out a little bit later than normal last night.
What were you
for
into?
Full Throttle Thursday.
Ah, yes, that's right. I forgot you did that last night. How was it?
Love the place. It was okay. Unfortunately, the weather did play a factor, so it was a little bit smaller than normal.
It was cold yesterday. I wore a winter coat to walk my dog.
It's 43 right now.
It was very cold, and the wind was blowing. Yeah, there was a time or two I jumped in the Blitz Hummer to turn the heat on for a minute. Because I even tried to layer up. I had two hoodies on.
Yeah.
The wind was blowing a little bit.
What'd you think of the Fortress?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
It's an amazing place, for sure. So, can't wait to go back.
When it's nice.
Right. Yeah. It's just unfortunate that it happened on a Thursday and we have Full Throttle Thursday. So, but got home a little bit later than I expected. So, rolling into a holiday weekend. How are you, Thick?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm ready for a long weekend. Hope to get a little fishing in.
Is the weather going to support that?
It's supposed to be sunny and 70 tomorrow, isn't
Yesterday I go, Thick, are you going to fish over the weekend? He goes, oh, the weather's going to be terrible.
Well, but then I saw it's supposed to be like sunny and 70 tomorrow.
65 is what the iPhone says. 67 for Sunday. We will have 70 degrees on Monday, though. So
perfect conditions for fishing are what? What would you say? If you could have anything.
Partly cloudy and 70.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right there. All right. We'll get out and enjoy yourself.
The sweet spot.
Let's... Let's roll into your Friday and begin with Blitz Morning Trivia. Thick, what you got?
All right, $25 to waterbeds and stuff. You're the first one that texts in the correct answer. There is a weed shop in West Hollywood called The Woods, and it got robbed the other night. Well, that weed shop is owned by two pretty big-name celebrities. I just want the name of either one of the celebrities that owns The Woods in West Hollywood that was robbed this past week. Tell us at 99700, and we'll give you that gift card.
All right, I'm all about doing things a little bit differently. Oh, before we get to this, sorry, I was so excited to talk about this. I forgot about Blitz Morning Trivia. Let's get the answer for Blitz Morning Trivia first. I'm getting ahead of myself here.
All right, there is a weed shop in West Hollywood called The Woods. It was robbed the other night, and it is owned by two celebrities. I asked, tell us the name of either one of them. A lot of people got one of them, which was Woody Harrelson.
Oh.
So Woody's one of the owners.
I wasn't even thinking about him.
Oh.
I was thinking like Seth Rogen and James Franco or Jonah Hill.
Yeah, we had a lot of Snoop Dogg guesses.
Okay.
Obviously, West Coast. But Bill Maher is the other one.
Oh. Yep.
Yeah.
Could totally see that too.
And, somebody broke in and stole $3,000 worth of weed stuff. There was video footage, but they had hoodies and masks on, so...
$3,000 isn't that bad.
It doesn't sound bad to me either.
No.
I'm like, what, you just swipe one little counter off into
Right,
a bag
exactly.
and take off?
And it was 5 guys.
Now, granted, the edibles are mostly a good price.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you're snatching those, it would take a lot to reach $3,000.
Yeah, the flour is probably the most expensive thing in there.
But
isn't it?
5 guys, like, you need a new crew.
Right,
You guys are
yeah.
not efficient.
Right, yes. You are not good. You need to pick a new line of work.
So, Derek Liskey from Albany, was the first one to text in the correct answer. He's got $25 to go spend at Waterbeds and stuff.
All right, congratulations. All right, now into what I was talking about. I was saying I'm all about people who do things a little different, especially if you can take something mundane and turn it into something entertaining. I'm gonna praise you. If you're in a tipped base position, I'm going to tip you a little bit more, and that's what this is. I saw this clip yesterday. Someone took a video at TikTok. They got into an Uber, and this Uber driver is getting a bigger tip out of me than normal. Because I love when you can take something so mundane and make it more entertaining, put a smile on someone's face, and I love this. Imagine getting into an Uber, shut the door, say hello to the Uber driver like you normally do, and then the Uber driver does this.
A few things real quick as we get started. I have a hearing loss, so if you need to talk to me, I do need you to talk nice and loud. If you need to charge anything, I do have power cords available. Should my driving or anything you may have ingested make you queasy, there are blue bags and tissues in the slot on the seat in front of you. If you need something with a little moisture, there's hand sanitizer and wet wipes in the slot on the doors beside you. Should there be a sudden loss of pressure inside the vehicle, do not look for a yellow mass to drop from the ceiling, since the pressure is the same on both the inside and the outside. Pressure drop of that magnitude will make the radio mask the least of our worries. This vehicle is equipped with 4 emergency exits. Unless you're seated in the center rear seat, you are seated next to one of them. Feel free to use it should the need arise. In the highly unlikely event of a water incursion, you may not use your seat as a flotation device. You will be provided a device to help you cut your seatbelt, break the window, and escape the vehicle as soon as the pressure equalizes. Although rear seat belts are not required, to prevent you from becoming a lethal projectile and a sudden unexpected deceleration, they are highly recommended. Due to the nature and duration of this ride, food and beverage services are not offered. If you have questions for our ride attendant, if you'll check the aisle in the center of the cabin, you'll see that we don't have one. On behalf of all of us here at Kamikaze Transportation, welcome aboard.
Perfect.
Yeah, that man's getting an extra tip.
That's pretty good. Now, were they on their way as this entire...
Yes,
thing?
they were driving.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
That's the only thing that would drive you nuts. It's like, we got to get going, man.
Get going.
I appreciate it, but step on the gas here.
I like
We
the
gotta
bit, but let's be on our way.
Yeah, they were moving.
I always envision, you guys remember Cash Cab? Like you're stepping into something. Oh my gosh, I always wanted to be in Cash Cab.
Let me tell you,
not in New York. So.
Of all the times that I visited my brother in New York City, I was.
Were you hoping?
Oh,
you're looking for Ben Bailey
every single time. And I saw an interview with him not that long ago, and it really was random people.
Oh, I just love that show.
The producers would keep an eye out on the street for people hailing cabs because he said the difficult thing was you got to be at the right place at the right time for people hailing hailing cabs. They had bad contestants that didn't want to play, and they had to get out, and they had to continue the search. And he said that was the biggest problem. Most people didn't want to be on the show.
Oh.
So they would get in the cab, they'd start the whole thing. The person's like, no, let me out. And they would let them out, and they'd have to go drive around and look for someone else.
Well, they kept it genuine.
Yes, they did.
You know?
Absolutely.
I loved it when people got it wrong, and Ben goes, "Oh no!" I love that show so much.
I do like Ben Bailey for sure. So, well done. If you can make something mundane or everyday just a little bit different,
yes,
do that. Be a little weird. There's nothing wrong with it. 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, for our not-so-breaking news this morning, we begin by looking at the sky. That's right, a couple stories involving airplanes, and this, man, I'm glad everyone is safe, but this was basically a higher-up saying, look, this is your time. I'm doing everything I can to take you down, because passengers in India screamed in terror as their plane sustained substantial nose damage after hail hit the plane as it was taking off. And I mean, the nose of this plane is ripped open.
What?
The hail ripped through the nose of the plane. After that, they said they were going to make an emergency landing, and during their process hit extreme turbulence. Passengers are flying all over the cabin. These turbulence were so strong. And then as they're coming in for the landing, a bird flies through the engine.
Wow.
What?
I mean, it's like everything that could go wrong did go wrong.
Again, thankfully, no one was hurt, but there's footage from the plane of everyone just screaming in panic. The plane violently rocks back and forth through the turbulence. Lightning flashes through the cabin as they've got little sparks coming from the engine. Man, it would take a lot for me to get back on. I love to travel. I've got no problem with flying, but it would take a lot for me to get back on a plane after all that. If that happens.
Oh, no, that's it.
3 in a row. Like, if you've got a malfunction on your plane, I've been there before, it stinks. But the hail strikes that break apart your plane, heavy turbulence that throws passengers around the cabin, and a bird strike.
Yeah, I got the message from the universe.
Right, exactly.
Received, loud and clear.
Fully understand it. Got it. Our second story comes from a very delicate category. It is not a very big category. It's a very small category, but sometimes, every once in a while, it happens. And it's from the file labeled, "I'm really sorry, but kiss my ass" file. Because there is a picture that is going viral across the internet from a passenger sitting next to someone on a plane, and they took a little sneaky peek picture of a piece of paper this person was holding. And this person was holding a note that they handed to the flight attendants. And the note is titled Flight Allergy List, Seat 4A. And it reads, foods, no coffee, highly allergic, even the smell, no cashews, no fragrances or chemical smells, including cologne, perfume, scented soup, or body lotion. No gasoline or airplane fuel. I have a cashew allergy. If you could refrain from serving it would be greatly appreciated. I also am highly allergic to the smell of coffee. I would appreciate it if you could refrain from brewing any coffee, as even the smell can stop my breathing. I also have several medications that I need to take, and as a result, drink a lot of water. If you could spare a large bottle from the onset of the flight, it would be greatly appreciated. This way I don't have to continually ask you for more water. Thank you for your patience and understanding, so I'm trying to make this flight as enjoyable as possible for me. I appreciate you.
This guy sounds like he needs to fly private.
Yeah.
Right!
Like, sir, you're flying basically in a bus full of people. Like,
yeah, right!
You know what I mean? There are tons of people here, not just you.
No, please say that again. You're flying it looks like a bus full of people. Yeah, that's kind of what planes are, Kelly. Good job. But again, from the file of, I'm sorry, but kiss my ass. You don't get to fly. No, you can't even brew coffee because I'm on this flight of 100 people or 150 people. No, you don't get to disrupt everyone's flight. You need to fly private or drive by yourself where cashews won't be served or coffee won't be brewed. You're getting on a plane and you're saying no airplane, no jet fuel?
Well,
how do you want us to get there?
Okay, you're the flight attendant. How do you deal with this note?
Oh, that's a good one.
I would say, I'm sorry, sir, but there is no way we can accommodate all these lists. So I can either get you a refund from the airline, get you some airline miles, or you can wear a mask. Does the smell bother you? Wear a mask. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm happy to give you that big bottle of water. That's about all I can do for you.
I mean, I want to walk up to him and just say, "Sir, we can't take off without jet fuel. What would you like us to do?"
Right.
That's right. Just ask him that. Then what's he going to say?
I feel like I don't have time for this guy. I would not be. Yeah, I don't have time for that.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. I am sorry, sir. I am sorry, but no. No.
Just no.
Not happening. None of... Well, yes. 1 of 5 is happening. You're getting your big bottle of water. And that is it. Other than that, you got to find a different route. You got to find a different way to get there. All of these concerns are not the concerns of 149 other people. Not happening. That's your not-so-breaking news, 99.7 The Blitz. All right, I saw this online discussion, thought it'd be fun to jump into. 800-821-9970. You can also shoot us a text at 99700, and it's a very simple question. What is the best movie opening scene of all time? Like the first 10 minutes of a movie. What movie has the best first 10 minutes? I've got a pretty definitive answer, and then I also have an answer that I would love to give, except for the fact that the last, 30 seconds completely ruined the whole thing for me.
Oh.
And as great as it is, I can't get over that final, between 9 minutes and 30 seconds and 10 minutes, or whatever it is, that last bit of the opening just drives me insane. So, Kelly, can you think of what you might believe is the best movie opening scene of all time?
I can tell you the one I've probably never forgotten is the opening 10 minutes of Blade with the blood shower and the rave.
Oh!
Remember they go to the rave and then all of a sudden the sprinklers start just raining blood down on this rave?
I never would have, 1, thought about that, 2, thought you would have brought that up.
It's just because it really stuck in my brain. It was so, I don't know, it's like turned your stomach. That's how much blood is there.
Okay.
And then you find out they're all vampires or whatever. So, anyway, yeah. That, I would say, I've never forgotten.
Okay. Thick, can you think of what you might consider the best movie opening scene of all time?
I can only pick one?
Well,
just one.
It's difficult.
God. I mean, there's so many great ones.
There are.
I don't even know how to pick one. I mean, just thinking about, Jaws, for God's sakes.
Okay.
It started everything with the girl taking the midnight swim, man.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, the OG.
I mean, my God.
When that music kicks in and it's just, and the logo's there.
And the battle breaks out. Vader walks in, the rebel forces are there. C-3PO and R2-D2 are there. I mean, it's just bam, right off the beginning.
That's a good one.
One of my all-time favorite movies, Gladiator. That opening.
Okay, you can't just
I know.
name
I don't know what to
movie.
say. I mean, how do you pick? You
just
put me on the
I picked
spot.
one. I've seen a billion movies. I picked Blade. That's how you do it.
Okay, that made the biggest impact on you.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
but is it the best opening scene ever?
It doesn't matter.
Know.
You can.
Okay, I'm
just
done.
pick-
There, I said something. There, fine. I said something.
You always make things so complicated.
I'm put on the spot to pick the best opening scene ever.
All right, of the 3 that you just named, what's the number 1?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is torturous for him.
It is, man.
I can tell.
You can't ever tell Thick to pick just one because he just has to analyze every single thing.
I mean, yeah. Give me Gladiator.
All right.
Gladiator. Okay. For me,
I mean, my God, there's so many great ones.
For me, the one I think is the greatest because when I remember seeing it for the first time, and my instant thought was, "Oh, buckle the F up, here we go," was Mission Impossible 3.
Okay.
Because he kind of Quentin Tarantino'd it where the end of the movie is the beginning of the movie, and it starts with Ethan Hunt tied down, and then Philip Seymour Hoffman is just amazing, and it's just so intense. I think that's one of the best movie opening scenes of all time. If you've got one, 800-821-9970. I can see this. A lot of people are texting in Saving Private Ryan. I mean, Battle of Normandy right off the bat.
That's what told me I didn't want to watch the rest of the movie, and I never have.
You've never seen
Saving
Private
Ryan? It's too brutal.
It is pretty brutal, for sure, but that is a great opening scene. Let me tell you the one that drives me nuts.
Okay.
The one that I can't stand. That does have, it's an amazing opening scene. The Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
That's a good one.
The bank heist.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole bank heist, you get introduced to the Joker.
Oh, I love The Dark Knight. Oh, my God.
Unbelievable movie opening. Until the last 30 seconds. Because if you remember, the final guy that the Joker kills, he's like, wait, I bet you were told to kill me. He goes, no, I'm told to kill the bus driver. What bus driver? And all of a sudden, the bus backs into the bank and hits the guy. Yeah. And the Joker loads everything up and then pulls out of the bank and joins the convoy of other school buses to get away.
You hate that?
You're telling me no school bus driver went, hey, dispatch?
Yeah, right.
A school bus just pulled out of a bank and joined our little line. We might want to look into this. Nobody decided to do that. They're just going to be okay with a bank pulling or a bus.
I would
pulling
be
out of
fine with it because if I'm a bus driver, all I want to do is get these kids dropped off and get home. Right. I'm not looking to stand around and make a police statement.
Right? Yeah, it's going to take up my day.
I ain't got time for this. I didn't see nothing. I'm going home to dinner.
Yeah.
You know,
totally
you mentioned Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah,
Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs, both phenomenal.
Yes.
Okay, when you and I will come up with one, Goose, and then Thick gets 10.
Right.
Because I think that'll help more with his brain.
Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
It's Arena.
Arena, what's the greatest movie opening scene of all time?
Zombieland.
Oh, Zombieland is such a good one.
Gosh, I can't remember how that movie
Where he
started.
starts breaking down the rules and everything. Oh
no! When Metallica's playing and everybody's just losing their mind, firefighters are trying to fight the fire and zombies are attacking them.
Oh,
right!
Running
out of the strip club, chasing the patrons.
Yes. That's right. And then he goes, and then it starts, and he gets rid. Yes, that is a great opening scene. You are correct. Thank you for the call. I hope you have a great Friday. Caitlin, obvious the only answer is Twilight. Caitlin, obviously you are sickly mistaken because that is not it at all.
Twilight. I don't think I've ever seen that either. But it sounds like I should, at least the first 10 minutes.
Oh,
according
Mark,
to Caitlin.
You've
Mark,
never seen
Full
Twilight?
Metal Jacket.
Yep.
That is a good one.
Trina texted in Ghost Ship. Yes, absolutely, man.
Charlie says Deadpool. That's a really good one, too. Yeah, a Deadpool is a great one. Blitz, good morning. Who's this? Okay, thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Steven says Terrifier 3, Art dresses as Santa Claus and axe murders a family in the first 10 minutes.
Wow. I've heard a lot about this Terrifier.
It's supposed to make you throw up. One of them. What was it?
The second one had people vomiting and passing out in theaters.
Yes.
Really? Okay. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Drew.
All right, Drew, what's the best movie opening scene of all time?
Super Troopers, man.
That's a good one, too. Yep. I have to go back and watch that.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Everyone who drives, and they know when that happens, that movie flows through everybody's mind.
That is true. That's a good one. Well, I appreciate that. I'm probably going to have to watch it this weekend. Thanks for the call, man. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Robert,
what is the best movie opening scene of all time?
Best and pretty much funniest, the second live Turtles movies from back in early 90s.
The 1990s, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
Yep, that one, where they just go in and start getting after all the robbers and everything.
Yes! Okay.
Absolute comedic gold.
Comedic gold. I love it. Thank you for the call.
Brittany said the first Final Destination.
Okay, that's the plane.
Yeah.
Yep.
See that whole
That's
scene
a good
go
one.
down.
Dylan says A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Oh.
That's a pretty fun. In fact, I just rewatched that probably last week. I was kind of bored lying around. I put it on. It's a pretty funny movie. If you're a fan of Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane, you need to check out A Million Ways to Die in the West for sure. If you've got one, 800-821-9970. You can shoot us a text as well, 99-700. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
All right, I'm listening.
3 things you need to know before you go.
Authorities are searching for 4 inmates after they escaped yesterday from a minimum security facility through a broken window right here in Franklin County. Is this a TikTok trend?
Yeah.
Inmates were being held at the Franklin County Community-Based Correctional Facility, which is a prison diversion program for adult male offenders. The inmates were reported missing just before 9 p.m. Authorities say they plan to release information on the inmates this morning. So as long as we're on the topic, the search continues for 5 of the 10 inmates who escaped from a New Orleans jail by ripping off a cell toilet and escaping out of the hole behind it. Of the 5 who have been captured, all were found in New Orleans, like within about 7 miles. 2 were found immediately on Bourbon Street.
Right.
Let's go
right
to the most
bar.
populated,
Yep.
wherever all the cameras are. That's
Yep.
where I want to be. Anyway, 2 jail employees have been arrested for aiding in the escape, and yesterday they arrested a 59-year-old woman, charged her with helping one of the escapees who is still on the run.
I love this. So instead of TikTok's GRWMs, the Get Ready With Me's, they're gonna do the BOOPWMs. Break out of prisons with me.
I love it.
Just carry your camera around.
Yeah. Hey, instant follow.
Instant follow.
An indigenous tribe from Brazil's Amazon rainforest is suing the New York Times for defamation. The Marubo tribe, based in the remote Javari Valley, filed a lawsuit this week in Los Angeles claiming the New York Times misrepresented their community in a 2024 article about their first internet access via Elon Musk's Starlink. The tribe says the story unfairly depicted them as overwhelmed by technology and then immediately addicted to porn. They say this is, number 1, not true. Number 2, harmful and deeply misleading and embarrassing on a global scale.
Yeah.
They're also suing TMZ and they're suing Yahoo, accusing them of sensationalizing the coverage. The Marubo tribe seeking hundreds of millions of dollars in damages.
Go ahead.
I have the audio of the guy from the New York Times, what he said back then.
Okay.
Right away, the internet was a huge hit, and people were on it all the time, so much that it became a problem for the hunting and the farming that are necessary for their way of life. And so what the Marubo leaders did is nowadays, in almost all of the villages, the internet is only on for several hours in the morning, and several hours in the evening, and then all day Sunday.
So they talked to the New York Times. The New York Times said, basically the writer of this article said, we did mention pornography one time in a long-form article, but that was it. But it is kind of what everybody picked up on in the story. And this tribe is like, this, you've humiliated us globally.
I have 2 questions. If they didn't have internet, they're obviously a tribe deep within the Amazon.
Yeah.
Where did they find a lawyer powerful enough to take on the New York Times?
Probably contacted them.
Possibly. And if they win hundreds of millions of dollars like they're suing for, what are they going to do? Like, are they all of a sudden going to have some big... Are they going to turn it into Wakanda? Like, what are they going to do with all the money?
Probably get the internet.
They have the internet. It's starting.
Well, I know, but they'll probably get, like, their own...
Everyone gets their own laptop?
Everybody's going to get their own smartphone. Yeah, but they people, according to the article, people from the tribe said it made the young people lazy, and they all started watching porn.
Well, yeah, I think it's interesting. I wonder if they can get any money out of that.
Right.
What are they going to do with it? I bet they don't even have money in their tribe.
Right, exactly. Are they...
Yeah, to win a lawsuit like that, you have to show loss of money.
Well,
not loss of reputation.
Defamation. I mean, you can do loss of reputation.
But it has to have cost you loss of money to win money. I thought that was the whole point of it.
I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
Me neither. Those are your 3 things.
All right. Let's discuss another normal or nope. It's very simple. There's 2 answers, normal or nope. Is this something that a lot of people do or not really? Because I saw this TikTok and I can't fathom doing this, but I would love your answer at 800-821-9970. Of course, you can shoot us a text if you want, 99700. But here's the question. This woman on TikTok was being filmed by her friends, and her friends go, no, say that again. What do you do? And she said, when I call a place, I always introduce myself. So, let's say you're calling a restaurant, right?
Okay.
You and Charlie want to go out tomorrow night, but you know it's a busy restaurant. So you call the restaurant, they pick up. Hi, fancy 5-star restaurant, how can I help you? And you say, hi, this is Kelly Quinn. I was wondering if you had reservations for 6 o'clock tomorrow night.
Oh, so you introduce yourself first.
Oh, they always introduce themselves and then make a request.
I would say that, to me, is not normal.
That's what I would say.
Would you say that too?
Yes. I don't know one person that does that.
Thick, do you say, hello, this is Thick Rick?
No.
I would like a...
No.
All right. Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, I guess if I call my dentist office, because they know me, I'll go, hey, this is such and such, I need to get in, something like that, but...
I'll even at the vet. I'm thinking I just had to make a vet appointment. I always say, hey, I just want to make an appointment to get my dog's nails trimmed.
Yeah,
and
right.
then they
Who's
tell
this?
you what they need out of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's normal.
Because if you say, "Hey, it's Kelly Quinn," I was wondering, I got to bring the dog in. Who's this again? They're going to ask you again, anyways.
Yeah.
They're not paying attention to who you are.
Yeah, it would have to be somebody I know before I would say that out of the gate.
Yeah, I can't fathom a time I would ever say that. Brian says, "Nope."
Nope. Not normal.
Yeah, no.
Not normal.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Or I would love to talk to someone who does this. And why do you do it? How did you start doing it?
It sounds very friendly, though. Hi, this is Goose. I was calling to see if you guys had any appointments for this afternoon. And then
I
they'd be
only
like,
do that if I have intentions of trying to get something out of them and I'm trying to name drop.
oh, okay. So maybe if you're of a certain stature and you know your name carries some weight, you can say that right off the bat to get the good table.
Which by no means does my name carry any weight and I have zero stature. I'm just saying. I would love to hear from someone that does this because... Ashley says I literally do this all the time.
Yeah, Ryan says that too. I do it. I say, hello, my name is Ryan.
Really?
Yeah. And he said he thinks it knocks a step out of the process because they're going to ask anyway, so he just says it up front.
That's true.
I do that with my bank because anytime you call the bank and you're trying to get information, they always want the last four of my social and my birth date. So I'll just jump right in with that information.
Okay.
For sure. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
This is Henry.
Hey, we didn't ask. No. Henry.
Henry, normal or nope? Do you introduce yourself when calling someplace right off the bat?
I do all the time, whether it's personal or business. And I do a lot of business calls, but I find it sets the other person, and I don't say a last name. I just go, this is Henry.
Okay.
And it puts them at ease. It's almost like it takes some hesitation out of them. Now, sometimes it's handy when you're trying to disarm the person that you're calling.
Right, if you're doing like, hey, are you in sales?
I was
or something?
just going to ask that.
You want to disarm them.
I feel like it does take the anonymity instantly out of the phone call, which might set somebody on their heels if they don't know who you are. If you're upfront with who you are, then it's like, oh, okay, well, this guy's not going to say anything that he's ashamed about because he's already told me who he is.
Right,
so I don't have to worry about this
it's all
phone
psychology.
call. Yeah.
Look at you, all psychology.
I love it.
Okay.
Henry.
So has that helped you sell more cases of stripper glitter?
What?
It helps me get past the gatekeeper.
Absolutely. Thanks for the call, Henry. I really appreciate it. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Lori.
Lori, do you introduce yourself before you call a place or when you call a place?
I do, and I was thinking about that. I'm like, I think I do that out of habit. I was taught that when I was little.
You were taught that. Okay, because I was going to ask how it started. So you were just taught that when you were little.
Yeah, I never even thought about it. Even now, I'm like, I might not introduce myself anymore.
So you call you need a new set of car, and you call Bell Tire, and you're like, hi, I'm sorry, Lori, was it?
Yep.
Lori. So you're like, hi, this is Lori. I'm hoping to get a new set of tires on my 2024 Porsche Carrera.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I do, and now that I think about it, it is weird.
I don't know. It really does.
Yeah, you should stop doing it. You sound like a psycho, Lori. I'm just saying.
I think I'm going to start doing it. I think it sounds so much more friendly to say,
Hi, this is
my name's Kelly Quinn. I'm just calling to see if I can get a new set of tires on my 2007 Vega.
Right.
I might experiment the other way.
All right. Well, Lori, we really appreciate the call. Thank you so much.
John does it on the reverse side. He answers the phone always. Hello, this is John.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've heard of that before. Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, I guess it's a little more normal than I thought. People doing it. I didn't think we were going to get that many yeses. 99.7 The Blitz. Well, on a follow-up to a story that Kelly Quinn shared with you a couple weeks ago, it is official. The U.S. Treasury has just announced pennies going bye-bye. They have just ordered a new shipment of blanks this month, but once those are minted, they're not going to be making any more. The last pennies are set to roll off the production line early next year. It is estimated it will save about $56 million every year because it costs about 4 cents to manufacture every penny, which doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it? Literally. You're actually losing cents.
I think the nickel's next because it costs about 14 cents to make a nickel.
I didn't know that, really.
Yeah. Like, when are we just getting rid of change altogether?
It's got to happen. Coins.
Well, yes and no, because the only way that that's going to happen is everything at the store that you think is $1.79 or $1.99 is going to be $2. They're not going to go down. So
yeah, even if it was $1.12, it's going to be $2.
100%.
But when's the last time anybody who was trying to sell us something is concerned about us? They're not.
Never.
They're going to round up.
Yeah.
It's just the way the life is.
How much would it save if we didn't have any coins whatsoever and everything was just throwing out dollar bills? I mean, I remember my dad coming home and emptying his pockets, and there was always not a lot, but, definitely a few coins in his pocket, and they always went in a little change bucket, and then when he got up in the morning to leave the house, he scooped everything up, and I would never carry change in my pocket. Ever. There's no way.
I do love a quarter, I must say. I love a quarter. Yeah.
I got a bunch of them in my truck.
Yeah, they end up in the little change holder in your car, and that's
There's
it.
There's not much opportunity to use change anymore. I never deal in cash. Ever. I can't remember the last time I handed somebody cash for anything.
Here's an amazing number I did not know. Pennies, even though if they stop making them, they will not go away anytime soon. Because do you want to take a guess? What is the value of all the pennies in circulation right now?
The value is, I don't know, man. $500 million.
$23 billion.
You are both way off. $114 billion.
Wow.
Worth of pennies in circulation.
A lot of those are in a giant container at my mom's house.
Right, yeah. The 5-gallon water jug there.
Yes, exactly.
Yep, absolutely.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. So when and if this happens, they say early next year, but not that they're going to lose pennies anytime soon, but they are going to start making them, so just be prepared. 99.7 The Blitz. Yeah, let's go. I always love when it works out when we don't have one pair of tickets for a show and we don't have 2 pair of tickets for a show, but when we have 3 pair of tickets for a show, because that means we get to play everybody's favorite game, Don't Blow It for Everyone. At least I know it's Kelly's favorite game.
I love it so much.
It is a very simple game. We need 3 contestants right now. All 3 of you are going to play as a team. Each one of you is going to get your own question. You cannot help each other out. If all 3 of you get your question correct, you all win. You're all going to see Volbeat down in Cincinnati, August 17th. However, if one of you gets your question wrong, that's the dial tone for everyone. The game is over. No goodbye. No thank you for playing. No, we appreciate you listening. You just get the dial tone. So let's go. 800-821-9970. We need 3 contestants right now. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
It's Slayson Walters.
Slayson?
Yes, sir.
All right, Slayson, hang on one second. Contestant number 1. Let's go to contestant number 2. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
This is Lauren.
Lauren, very good. Contestant number 2, hang on, Lauren. And contestant number 3 is who? Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Christine.
Christine, can you turn your radio down for me, please?
Yep.
Appreciate it so much. All right. Here we go. Slayson, Lauren, Christine, playing as a team for Don't Blow Up for Everyone. You cannot help each other out. So here we go. Slayson, this question is for you and you alone. Miles Davis would have celebrated a birthday this weekend. He's famous for playing which instrument?
Piano.
Thanks for trying. That is not a correct answer, no.
Oh, no.
That's how it works, dial tone, just like that. Kelly, do you know the answer?
The trumpet.
Yes, the trumpet. All right, let's give it another try, see if we can get a team that can win. Blitz, good morning, who's this? Chris, hang on 1 second. You are contestant number 1. Blitz, good morning, who's this?
This is Randy.
Randy?
Yeah.
All right, Randy, you hang on 1 second. You're contestant number 2. Can you move away from whichever audio system you are near? Because that is loud. Are you at the movie theater right now? What is going on?
I'm actually in my truck driving.
Oh, okay. Well, turn your radio down. That'd be great. All right, let's see. Let's go to number 3. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Hey, this is Nathan.
Nathan. All right, gentlemen, here we go. Chris, Randy, Nathan, all playing as a team. You cannot help each other out. So here we go. Chris, you called in first. We start with you. Chris, Drew Carey is also celebrating a birthday today. He hosts which game show?
Price is Right.
That's correct answer. Very good. Yes, Chris, you are off the hook. Randy, we move on to you. Question number 2, Randy. Today in 1984, the second Indiana Jones movie opened up. It was titled what?
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
That is correct answer, yes! I thought I might catch someone there if they didn't know that Raiders of the Lost Ark was first.
Oh, yeah.
What might have happened.
Yep. All right.
All right, here we go. Nathan, it is on to you. All the pressure on you. If you get the question correct, all 3 of you are going to go see Volbeat on August 17th. If you get your question wrong, game over. Nobody wins. Nathan, here we go. We are 23 days away from what holiday?
I
need an answer.
Sunday. 4th of July.
Incorrect answer. No.
No.
We are 23 days away from what holiday? Do you have a guess, Kelly?
Let's see. Is it like Juneteenth, maybe?
No. Thick, do you have a guess?
Father's Day.
Father's Day is the correct answer. Yes, 23 days away from Father's Day, which means we don't have a winner yet. So let's give it another try. We'll collect 3 more winners. We'll take a break, give you a song. We're going to come back, see if we can get a winner for Volbeat with Don't Blow It for Everyone, 99.7 The Blitz. All right, Don't Blow It for Everyone. Still trying to give these tickets away for Volbeat Sunday, August 17th, down in Cincinnati at Riverbend Music Center. Our first 2 teams could not make it. Let's go with team number 4. We've got Justin on the phone, Kyle and Chris. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. Okay, I had to make sure we have everyone there because I heard one voice and that was it. All right, Justin, Kyle, Chris, you each get your own question. You cannot help each other out. If all of you get your question correct, you are all going. If one of you gets your question wrong, game over, just like that. So, Justin, you called in first. We start with you. Here is your question for Justin alone. Which legendary music star replaced his name with a symbol in 1993?
Prince.
That is the correct answer. Prince
Good
is
job,
correct.
Justin.
On to you, Kyle. Here we go. The phrase, no whammies, comes from which TV game show? Kyle, I need an answer.
For my time.
For your time. That is not the name of the game show.
Oh, no, Kyle.
I think that's a pretty good name of a game show, Before My Time, but not the actual name. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Stop.
What is it? I remember that, but I don't know the game show.
You don't know the game show?
What is it? Do you know, Thick?
Press Your Luck.
It's Press Your Luck.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I did.
Press Your Luck has a really fun slot machine at the casino, too.
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah, I'm
and
sure.
The whammies come out.
Yeah.
They do their little cartoon thing. Oh, it's pretty great. Yeah. All right, well,
On to the next.
Yeah, it seems like we might not get a winner for this, but let's go to team number 4. Quentin, Robert, Tasha, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. All right. Tasha, you there? There you are. Okay. All right, here we go. You each get your own question. You cannot help each other out. Quentin, you called in first, so we start with you. Today in 2003, Jim Carrey meets and is given the powers of God in what movie?
Shoot.
Oh, come on.
No.
That hurt. That hurt.
Wow.
I really do want to give these tickets away.
I mean, the name's in the name. The word you use is in the name.
Oh, gosh.
Do you have a guess, Kelly? Do you remember the movie?
Bruce Almighty.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was the second? Evan Almighty was
Evan Almighty was the second one. Which a lot of people dogged on Evan Almighty. Obviously not as good as Bruce Almighty, but it wasn't awful. I kind of liked Evan Almighty.
Yeah.
I also really love Steve Carell, though. So, well, all right. Are we gonna? You want to do it one more?
Please,
all
we
right.
have to.
Okay. Blitz. Good morning. Who's this?
It's Clayton again. Hoping for redemption.
Slayson for redemption. All right. Let's see. Let's go to line number 2. Blitz. Good morning. Who's this?
Derek.
Derek. All right, Derek. Hang on one second. And Blitz. Good morning. Who's this?
This is Chris.
Chris. All right, Chris. Hang on one second. We have got Slayson, Derek, and Chris. See if we can get a winner. Slayson, we will start with you. Here we go. Here's your question. Darth Vader was killed in which Star Wars movie?
Return of the Jedi.
That's the correct answer. Yes, Return of the Jedi. Very good. Derek, on to you. Here we go. Your question is, in The Simpsons, what color are Bart's shorts?
Red.
No. His shirt is red. Reddish orange.
Oh, my gosh.
His shorts are blue. He's got blue shorts.
Dang it.
All right, we're going to hold on to these tickets.
Oh.
If we can't get it in 5 rounds, then we're just going to hold on to the tickets.
When's the concert? Like, how long can we go
got till
on this bad boy?
We got till
August?
August.
All
We got time.
We can run the summer on
We
this
got
contest.
time. Yeah. If you can't get those questions, then we need to pause and reset because I can't make. I'm not going to start asking you what 2 + 2 is. Okay, we just need to take a break.
How about you take the long weekend, bone up on your trivia, and we'll try again next week sometime.
Maybe it was our fault for playing on a Friday before the holiday weekend. No one's in their right state of mind. They're not thinking right now. All they're thinking about is meat off a bone and beer that they're going to drink. So we will take a break.
That's true.
We'll hold on to the tickets, come back, and have another chance to win later. 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
2 of the victims who died aboard the Cessna plane that crashed into a San Diego neighborhood yesterday were well known in the music industry. Daniel Williams, former drummer and founding member of the band The Devil Wears Prada, was killed in the crash. And music agent Dave Shapiro, owner of the agency Sound Talent Group, was also killed. Shapiro had a pilot's license and more than a decade of flight experience and is listed as the owner of the plane that crashed. 6 people total were on the plane at the time. None survived. The NTSB says the plane hit a power line in foggy weather, slammed into a house, and then everything went up in flames.
Devil Wears Prada was at Sonic.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I guess.
I think he had a lot of big name clients, didn't he?
He did. Yeah.
Other artists?
He did. Yeah, I can't remember which
Wow.
ones, but Dave Shapiro had a ton of big clients. A former Harvard Medical School morgue manager has admitted his role in the theft and sale of human body parts, including hands, feet, and heads. 57-year-old Cedric Lodge of New Hampshire has pleaded guilty to interstate transport of stolen human remains. He faces up to 10 years in prison. Authorities say Lodge, his wife Denise, and others were part of a nationwide network of people who bought and sold human remains stolen from Harvard and a mortuary in Arkansas. Denise Lodge, the wife, has pleaded guilty to negotiating online sales of several items, including 24 hands, 2 feet, 9 spines, portions of skulls, 5 dissected human faces.
Who's buying
and
this?
What? 2 dissected heads.
Who is buying this? Why do you need this?
Who's the clientele? I don't know. I don't know.
Whew.
Yeah, is it Buffalo Bill?
Right.
Give me 5 human faces, will ya? And it's really awful because these bodies were all donated to science at Harvard. So basically what they do is they do conduct experiments on these bodies. But then when they're done, they cremate the remains and give it back to the family. And they didn't get a chance to have that, the family members. So,
although maybe they did. Maybe you got the cremation powder. What is it called? Remains powder.
The cremains.
The cremains. But it just, I mean, you wouldn't know that the hand wasn't part of the cremains.
True. Yeah. So they will be sentenced at a later date. 13 people tied to rival Armenian crime crime syndicates have been arrested in Florida and California, accused of stealing more than $83 million in goods from Amazon. Authorities say some members of the network were able to get jobs as Amazon delivery drivers, and then they stole entire shipments, everything from coffee makers to crock pots to shampoo. They had big warehouses full of stolen Amazon items, and they know that because they recovered cell phone video showing warehouses packed with all these items. The arrests also exposed a violent feud between 2 mob figures trying to gain control of the San Fernando Valley. This is literally The Sopranos. One of them is accused of ordering a failed hit on the other. The other retaliated with a kidnapping and torture. This is happening in the U.S. It's all out of Armenia. It is tied to the Russian mob, the Russian mafia, and they are operating out of what they call a growing U.S. base. So, I don't know. But yeah, if you didn't get an Amazon delivery, I bet you I know where it is.
Right.
Those are your 3 things.
All right, so have you ever been doom scrolling and then you come across a video and you're like, where did this come from? And like the running joke, if you look at comments, is I built my FYP brick by brick.
Yes, I've seen that comment numerous times.
Because, the algorithm knows if you stop to watch a video for an extended period of time, you must like this type of video, so we're going to show you more of this type of video. Or if you watch a full video of a creator, they might show you more videos of this particular creator. So as I was doom scrolling last night, I have no idea how this ended up on my FYP. Because I can promise you, I have never looked at any kind. Well, that's not true.
Now we're getting to the bottom
that I think about it, I watch a lot of cooking videos.
Okay.
I love getting recipes.
Yeah, me too.
So they just combined it with the other things you watch.
Correct. This is a recipe video.
Okay.
This is a woman sharing a homemade recipe.
I swear to you, if this makes me sick, I'm going to be so mad at you.
Well,
buckle up, Buttercup.
I already feel sick to my stomach in anticipation.
I have never in my life heard of anything like this. I never in my life want to hear anything like this again. And let me just say, we are getting way too comfortable on the internet.
Oh, gosh.
I don't even know her name.
Oh.
I don't know the details. I just know this is a woman in the kitchen in the process of making some food and sharing the recipe with us.
Okay.
Kelly, here we go.
Cooter muffins are my husband's favorite breakfast, and if you don't know what that is, it is a muffin that you put your from your cooter. So what I do is I wear a menstrual cup all of the time, and it catches any that comes out, and I just go ahead and put that in the fridge. And that's actually what this bowl here is. It's a I do mix it with some powdered sugar so it tastes good, but that's and powdered sugar, and I put it in the fridge, and it kind of thickens up over time, and I make a bunch of baked goods with it because it just adds like this little bit of a sour flavor. And I know everybody tastes different, but I taste a little sour, he says, so it just adds like this sourdoughy flavor to it, kind of like your own sourdough starter. My husband recently got a new job, and he has to get up extra early, so he hasn't really had time to eat in the morning, if you know what I mean, because I don't wake up early. And so I decided I would just keep muffins in the fridge all of the time, and he could just grab it and go and get a little taste of me every day. But they're super easy. It's kind of like you just follow, like these are banana muffins, and you kind of just follow the banana bread recipe and then just add a little taste of yourself.
I have no words.
Like, when I gave you this for this morning, like, is this a joke?
Well, that's what I thought. But then she's got other cooking videos.
I feel like it is rage bait.
And you think it's rage bait?
I started to get, annoyed, overly annoyed by this person, but then I thought, no, this is what she wants, because this is absolutely ridiculous. And number two, thank you for whatever you bleeped. I'm certainly glad I didn't hear, because it would have painted more of a picture that I don't need.
The same word every time.
Wait, turn the microphones down real quick.
Mic's off.
Everybody.
My gosh, why did you tell me? I just thanked you for beeping it. Oh, gosh. Okay, so it is rage bait. And number two, do you know that TikTok will strike your videos for everything? You can do some type of something and use some word, and you'll get a TikTok strike, and they'll take your video down. How many views does this thing have?
Oh, that's a good question.
I would love to know how this did not get struck down by TikTok, because they're really vigilant in making sure that something like this never runs across my eyeballs.
But there's obviously not.
That is so disgusting. See, now, I don't want to get... I'm not falling in the trap. Nope, you're not getting me.
Oh, Ben, you are 100% correct. This is why you can't eat at everybody's house.
Oh, have you ever seen that guy? Have you seen that guy do this? You can't eat at everybody's house.
Oh, I can't. I just can't fathom putting that out there. Why would you? If that's something you do, fine.
Is her full face on there?
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
seen her full face?
You see everything.
Oh, ma'am.
She's standing at her kitchen counter mixing it all up. Without a doubt.
Why can't I not see the number of views? It's been shared 182,000 times.
It's got to be out of people going, you've got to watch this ass.
Well, I hope her husband enjoys antibiotics with his breakfast.
Right? Don't do this.
She's not doing it either. I can guarantee you.
You don't think she's doing it?
Heavens no.
I'm going to show you her account because
I want to see.
She is.
What else is she putting in her food?
She looks like the type.
Oh gosh, that sounds so filthy.
She
like
looks like
dirty. Like, does she shower? What is going on down there?
Most of her videos have 10 to 25,000 views. This one has 2.5 million.
There you go, making a ton of money off some stupid video. Oh, I hate her.
You hate her for making the video, not for what she's making in her kitchen.
No, I hate her for the whole entire
thing. Fair enough. 99.7 for the Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
You know, you gotta have a certain set of rules where the punishment fits the crime. But at some point, what was it last week? Told you a story about a guy who was just arrested for his 21st DUI, going all the way back to the 80s. It's like, they did take his license away. It's like, how can this man have a license? He doesn't. He just decides to drive illegally. So what do you do with that?
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail for how long? He obviously can't not drive, and he can't not drink and drive.
You need to go through a multiple alcoholism classes. Not classes, programs.
Programs, right. Well, we've got another person, but this is a different type of crime. A man in Seattle has just been arrested yet again for sexual misconduct and committing lewd acts in a park. How they don't just, throw this man in jail for a very long time, knowing that he's not going to stop, because he literally calls himself the master baiter.
What?
Is it on the back of a cape or something that he wears?
That's a valid question. Dun, 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 dun. When he flies, his cape flaps in the air and it just goes.
Oh, no.
Yes, according to the document, 46-year-old Keenan Charles Pearson continually commits sex acts in public despite multiple convictions of sexual crimes. The King County prosecution attorney has filed 2 new charges of felony indecent exposure, again, for him being at a park. That's all he does. He goes into the park and just... It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a wang.
It's Master Bader.
According to the arrest, 911 callers reported a man who was doing indecent things in front of customers, including children. You can't do this.
Like, he's going to do this in front of the wrong person one day, and then he's going to get the absolute snot beat out of him.
Yeah.
Not that it's going to stop him, but I hope that more people will maybe start beating this guy. Oh, wait.
Yeah, you know what?
Wow.
You know what I mean.
Uh-huh. I think that's just going to add to the problem. If more people start beating this guy.
Finally, I got what I wanted.
Okay, our second story takes us down to Florida. Yes, we have ourselves a WTF. What the Florida? A convicted felon is back behind bars because he participated in the Hot Chip Challenge. We've all seen that online where you eat that one chip, the crazy chip, and you're supposed to not drink anything for 10 minutes. And, of course, people are losing their mind because it's crazy spicy. It's covered in Carolina Reaper dust. Well, 36-year-old Darren Deeks was out on parole in late March. And he was caught on video drinking a beer at a bar because he attempted the one-chip challenge, and it was too much for him, so he grabbed himself a beer and drank a beer. Here's the problem. His parole agreement says you're not allowed to have any alcohol, and it's all on video. He's got a pretty long rap sheet, including convictions for grand theft, burglary, credit card fraud, and selling drugs. It's not clear how they found the video, but they did, and they arrested him on Wednesday for violating the terms of his parole. Here's the thing. He's also not even supposed to be in a bar as part of his parole. So that's just one of these scenarios of, like, why are you putting yourself in this situation? Right. You know you're on parole. You're not supposed to be at the bar. And if you weren't at the bar, you wouldn't have participated in the one-chip challenge. And if you didn't participate in the one-chip challenge, you probably wouldn't have had a beer. So don't put yourself in that position.
Agreed.
His parole was set to expire in late 2026, but now he'll be spending some more time in jail. And it will probably reset the clock on his parole. So don't put yourself in those positions. That's your not-so-breaking news, 99.7 The Blitz. All right, this story's making the rounds, and it is about a newscaster. I'm trying to find out where she's from. I want to see if it says exactly where she's from. Oh, she was in New York. Okay, upstate New York. And at 4:15 a.m., she's preparing and putting on her makeup and doing the things, getting ready for that first 5 a.m. newscast, where she then does, the 3 hours of the morning show, because that's what morning newscasters usually do. They just do the news every hour. And as she's sitting there doing her makeup, her water breaks. She's 9 months pregnant. In fact, not only that, they actually had a due date counter as a graphic on the news, and she was 2 days past her due date. So they knew it was coming. It just happened while she was getting ready. But here's the deal. She jumped behind the news desk and was just kind of keeping track of her contractions. She was clocking her contractions.
Wow.
She's like, I don't have to go to the hospital yet. Everything's fine. Do you have the clip? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, give us a clip.
We do have some breaking news this morning. Literally. Yes. Olivia's water has broke.
That's
and
right.
She is anchoring the news now in active labor.
Early labor.
She's still here. She's been doing the entire show. This is her decision to do this.
I'd rather be at work than at the hospital.
After we're done with this show, you should probably go.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, yay, Olivia.
I'll do my best.
High
which
five,
means
girl. Whole
maybe
show. Look at that. 3 hours of news.
That's right.
In contractions. I think that's a first for CBS 6.
All right. Well, hopefully I don't see you tomorrow, but make sure you join Julia.
And there it is. Just sitting through your contractions, working right through it. Where's the strangest place you or someone you know had their water break or went into labor? Do you know of anyone, Kelly, that had a...
I just read a story about somebody whose wife went into labor at a corn maze, in a corn maze.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like how...
and then trying to find your way out.
I mean, and you're panicked. Yeah.
800-821-9970 or 99-700. I'm just picturing this poor woman behind the counter, and she's like, we've got police activity at the Nationwide building. Hold on.
The thing is, they did probably manage to turn her labor into ratings.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, hey, let's see. She's going to stay here as long as she can. And then everybody starts tuning in.
There are people that, have very short labors, and the baby just comes out. So, I mean, man, just roll her in her newscaster chair off the set to the side and just give birth right there. I mean, what are you going to do?
I was DJing a wedding in the early 2000s, and a bridesmaid Her water broke on the dance floor during the wedding. During the reception.
The dance floor.
Yeah, they had to clean it up.
Kat says in line at Walmart on Black Friday.
Oh, wow.
Now, do you leave the shopping cart and forego the great deals you're getting on Black Friday, or do you stay there, pay for everything, and then go to the hospital?
Yeah, just throw up a tent, fire that thing out.
800-821-9970 or 99700. The strangest place where you or someone you know went into labor. It's 99.7 The Blitz. A newscaster in Albany, New York, went into labor, but her water broke as she was getting ready for the morning newscast, but continued to do the 3-hour newscast anyways before she went to the hospital. Strangest places that you went to labor or someone you know went to labor.
Sarah says she was walking into McDonald's for breakfast. Her water broke as she's walking in. She ordered her breakfast, and then went home to pack. She said, I really wanted that breakfast.
Oh, 100%. I'm not passing up a McDonald's breakfast for anything.
No.
I am most certainly telling that baby to hold on a minute so I can have my sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin, without a doubt. Lori says, I was signing a friend's divorce papers as his witness, and my water broke.
Wow. Oh, wow. Michelle was a hairstylist. She went into labor while doing color for one of her clients. She said, I did finish her color and haircut, but no blow dry. My next client was there for her appointment and was mad at me because I couldn't stand up straight and didn't do her hair before I left.
Oh, dang. Okay, you're being dropped as a client.
Yes.
At that point.
That's so rude.
Like, find yourself another hairdresser. Not happening.
Heather says went into labor at work 2 times. Once when she was working in a warehouse, once when she was working in a garage.
You need to stay home. Once you hit like the 38th week, you just need to stay home and just stop. Nikki says I went to labor taking my kids trick-or-treating.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, at that point, do you continue to collect candy? I mean, because sometimes you need a little sweet treat while you're in the hospital.
Right.
So, saying.
Rebecca was a line cook when her water broke. She finished her shift and then had her baby 14 hours later.
Okay, so between water breakage and delivery, is there usually a significant amount of time?
I think normally, yes,
Okay.
it is a significant amount of time.
So I would think if I was on my first baby, that would freak me out. I'd be at the hospital in 2 seconds. But after that, you're just kind of like, all right, I got some time. Let me do a few things
And
first.
again, as we said, you do hear instances where like your water breaks and like the baby's coming.
Yeah,
we're not
like,
making it to the hospital.
you don't even
I'm
get
pulling over
right.
and I'm
Okay.
giving birth to my baby in the Walmart parking lot.
Or they might send you back home for a while. It
They've
could
done that too.
I want to say my son Tyler was like 18 hours after water broke.
18 hours.
Oh, think of all you could get done in 18 hours.
Yeah, but what do you want to be doing when all of
I
a
could
sudden?
probably nap, I guess. Nap.
Oh, during contractions? I don't know.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden it just
is that
hits
when
and
that
you're
starts?
like, wow, yeah. Because you got to time them, and as they get closer together, that's when they know the baby's coming. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Hi, my name's Maddie.
Hi, Maddie. Did you or someone you know have their water break and go into labor in a strange spot?
So my water didn't break, but I did start having contractions. I actually ended up having to have a C-section, but I was in the National Guard, and I had drill on the 18th and 19th of September. And on the 19th, I started having contractions towards the end of the day. And nobody would let me do anything, but I just wanted to get up and walk around. And then I ended up having my daughter the very next morning about 5 a.m. via C-section.
Wait, first of all, thank you for your service. Second of all, they're making you do PT when you're 40 weeks pregnant? You were still...
No, they wouldn't let me do anything. I wanted to do something. I was going crazy just standing around with nothing to do.
All right,
I was having, like contractions. I just wanted to be up moving around, and I, tried to pick up a chair, and somebody was like, no, don't do that. And I was like, please, for the love of God, let me do something.
Tell me what the maternity uniform is like.
Yeah, do you have to keep getting refitted throughout the pregnancy?
Well, they're actually, these really comfortable pants. Honestly, I wish you could wear them all the time, but they're really stretchy. But they go, over your stomach, so it's, right under your boobs.
Oh, okay.
They're pretty comfy.
All right.
So they dress you like an 87-year-old man, pulling your pants all the way up to mid stomach area. Okay, very good.
Yeah. And then your top's like a camouflage muumuu, so that's not bad.
Oh, very nice.
A camouflage muumuu, really?
I'd like to order one of these.
I didn't know
great.
they actually had they do have pregnancy uniforms for the military. I did not know that. All right. Well, thank you again for your service.
It's a little weird, but
I can't believe that you wanted to do stuff and wanted to be in PT while, getting, 2 days away from having a baby. That's unbelievable. Well, thank you for the call.
Those are the kind of soldiers we need, by the way.
Yep.
She's hardcore. That's incredible.
That's no joke.
Yeah.
What you got, Vic?
CC said my friend went into labor at the Ohio State Fair on a Ferris wheel.
Uh-oh.
They were in the middle of the ride.
Oh, who was underneath? Were you, on top and then it just, splattered down?
That's not what happened.
Isn't it? I don't... Dude, you can tell. I've never had kids. I'm asking the most random, basic questions about labor. I don't know. When your water breaks, there's not a decent amount of it?
Yeah, there can be.
Yeah, but I don't think... It doesn't come
It could go...
It doesn't skadoosh.
What if you're wearing a skirt?
Skadoosh.
Do you skadoosh if you're wearing a skirt?
It's more like a leaky faucet than just a splash mountain.
But me
right?
saying someone...
It can be, yes. It can be a kadoosh.
A skadoosh.
Skadoosh. Okay.
Get it right. If you're going to use adjectives to describe the splashing of water breaking, use it correctly. Skadoosh.
By the way, Nikki said, yes, she did get the Halloween candy. It was her second baby. She wasn't bothered.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Josh, we walked around Kings Island for 10 hours and our water broke while we were in the Kings Island parking lot. Barely made it back to the hospital in time. See? That'd be my concern.
My sister went into labor, but she didn't know it. She was in back labor, so you get some back pain. But she just thought it was because she was giant and pregnant. And she's like, man, my back is really hurting. And at some point, my mom's like, I think you're in labor. And she had that baby in 15 minutes after pulling into the parking lot at the hospital. Because she just didn't know it. She didn't know she was in labor.
I bet... That's kind of a cruel joke, a nature's cruel joke, where you don't know how long. You could be in the hospital, like you said, for 18 hours.
Yeah.
And it should just be like, all right, the baby's it should be consistent. Like water breaks, it gives you 6 hours.
All right, so this is like the design flaw.
Right. It's a 100% design flaw. It should be 6 hours, gives you time to get home, grab your go bag, get to the hospital, get checked in, get the doctor there, get your gynecologist, your OBGYN there, and then have the baby. Should be consistent across the board.
I see the difference here. Mackenzie said her daughter was 18 hours and 41 minutes. Her son was only 4 hours and 2 minutes. She said it's all over the place when it comes to those crazy babies, Kelly.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
No consistency whatsoever. And I think that is cruel and unusual that a woman doesn't know. Can we discover, of all our medical technologies, can we discover the gene that controls what part of our DNA is like, this is what happens during labor, and just set a timer? You know how sometimes you got your ribs on the smoker, and you've got your little white clock, and you turn it to 3 hours. Just set the timer. We know the baby's coming at this moment, so it can just be consistent across the board. Not to mention that would help out hospitals, because then you got one bed that's taken up for 18 hours, you got another bed that's taken up for 2. You don't know what's going on, so you could just book it, in 6 hour increments, and you would know exactly what's going on.
And it would help those of us who are on the car that's directly underneath the one on the Ferris wheel where the person's water's breaking.
Right.
Like, you would know then, don't get on that Ferris wheel.
Don't get on that, right. Because then you're going to be like,
skadoosh.
Skadoosh, right. 99.7 The Blitz. And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
The man accused in the deadly New Albany warehouse shooting in February has been ruled incompetent to stand trial. A Licking County judge made the decision yesterday. Bruce Foster III is accused of opening fire at his workplace, killing 2 people and injuring several others. He will now receive mental health treatment and could still face trial if his condition improves. Thousands of chicks found abandoned inside a postal service truck for 3 days have gone to new homes. A shelter in the state of Delaware cared for these surviving birds, getting them back to health over a 2-week period. And the shelter says the last batch was adopted yesterday. The chicks were part of a 12,000 bird shipment that was left unattended in a truck for some unknown reason at a Delaware mail distribution center. Somebody who knew they had 12,000 birds in the back of their truck got out of the driver's seat and went home.
What?
I mean, what are you doing? Like, you should be in jail for that. At least a couple weekends, all right? I won't make you stay all week, but you got to do a couple weekends. Because about half of the 12,000 birds died from the heat, no water, no food. All right?
Who's who's buying 12,000 chicks?
I don't know. It was some type of chick distribution operation. I have no idea. People did adopt them.
I called one of those in Vegas one time.
Oh, yeah? I don't think you're allowed to talk about that.
That's exactly what it was called, Chick Distribution Service. Old CDS.
So more than 5,000 chickens, some turkeys, some quail, they were all adopted by local families, some rescues, and some farms, and they were adopted either for egg-laying purposes or as pets.
Okay.
5,000.
Why are you playing a turkey?
Do you believe
She
that?
just said some turkeys.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that part. I was thinking about the CDS.
Yeah. Just remembering some good times for you.
Yeah.
This is what happened at commencement last night at the University of Maryland. They spent all their monies. They got their degree, and then they got some life advice from none other than Kermit the Frog.
Here's a little advice, if you're willing to listen to a frog.
I'm not.
Rather than jumping over someone to get what you want, consider reaching out your hand and taking the leap side by side.
Number one, how dare you not sound like the Kermit the Frog of my youth? I mean, I realize Jim Henson's dead. Okay,
Right.
I got it. But you could get a Frank Caliendo to do the actual Kermit voice.
It's something better than that.
This is a knockoff. This is the Temu brand.
It did sound like
Temu
someone
Kermit.
ordered Kermit on Wish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
So, anywhoosie, as Thick was just telling me, he spoke for about 15 minutes. They did have other speakers, and they had their valedictorian or whoever, the summa cum laudes, whatever.
The what?
The summa cum laude and the magna cum laude.
That is not what you said.
Summa cum
laudes.
I do have a college degree, believe it or not, from the Ohio State University.
That sounds like when your grandparents couldn't afford Werther's, they just went and got a bag of summa cum laudes. Passed them out.
Yes. So Jim Henson graduated from the University of Maryland back in 1960. So I get it. It was a kind of an honorary type, hey, and they probably all love the Muppets there because that's part of their heritage at that school. But I'm kind of... I don't know. Am I overly annoyed by this?
Then they gave him an honorary degree.
They told me they gave him an honorary degree, and I'm so mad about it.
This time of year, you see a lot of celebrities going back to their alma maters and giving commencement speeches.
Yeah.
I would be a little miffed if Kermit the Frog was the one giving my commencement speech.
If he was the only one?
No.
Yeah.
I don't care. You could do that. That can be a side quest for anybody who wants to go to a secondary building and listen to Kermit the Frog. I'll allow that. But not your main graduation ceremony.
I listened to a bunch of the speech. It was not a good speech.
No.
It was cheesy and corny, and yeah, it wasn't good. Do you got some?
Oh, you want some more?
All right, go ahead.
You are all here. You're all here to listen to a frog in a very tiny cap and gown give a commencement speech on, what's actually turned out to be a pretty beautiful evening.
Because it's raining and he's a frog.
Oh. Either way, I can guarantee you the forecast calls for a 100% chance of frog.
Okay. I bet someone in this room could do a better Kermit impersonation than this fella.
Give it a try, Kelly.
I'm Kermit the Frog. Nope,
It's
that's
not
good.
Not you.
No.
Thick, give it a try.
I can't. I know I can't
Just
do that.
try.
Kermit the Frog here.
That's better than mine.
Yeah, that is better than hers.
You're right now. You're in first place.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Goose.
Okay, Goose.
Kermit the Frog.
Oh, yeah. Yes, now I'll take life advice from that Kermit.
You beat all three of us. Me, Kelly, and the one at the commencement.
All right. Those are your three things.
It never fails. Like once a week, you see these stories of adults who don't know how to behave at some sort of children's event.
What I do now?
A lot of times it's at a sporting event. Parents supporting their parents or parents supporting their children in some sort of athletic activity, and they don't think the call is going their way, or unsportsmanlike conduct, or whatever.
I've witnessed that more than once.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Well, this time it was at an elementary school ceremony basically a 5th grade graduation where people were getting ready to get awards and things like that. And an argument took place between two adults in a South Hills Elementary School parking lot in, does it say Fort Worth, Texas? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was I saw Fort Worth. I'm thinking Fort Walton Beach. I don't know why. It's not a WTF. It's a Texas story. And so as the parents got into an argument, things escalated, and that's when one parent stabbed the other parent in the parking lot of the elementary school.
Good Lord.
One person was taken to the hospital, and one person was taken into custody. Thankfully, obviously, no students were hurt. Once the melee broke out, the actual students were escorted inside of the school, where they actually put the school kind of on a little bit of a lockdown before they would allow any kids to go out there, as everything was being taken care of by police. Don't do that.
I mean...
Don't act like a big old D-bag at your children's event. That's the time where if you're approached or someone's in your face, you're arguing with someone, just turn around and walk the other way. Let it go. Handle it another time.
Are you drinking before going to this event?
I bet some are. I bet some are.
You know?
100%. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know lots of parents who have filled their Stanley cooler or Stanley cups with wine trying to sit through an all-day soccer tournament.
Sure.
I get it. But, come on. Don't do it if you know you don't know how to behave yourself if you're having a cocktail or two.
And, what grade? What were you talking about?
5th grade. Graduating from 5th grade.
Okay.
It's an elementary school.
Yeah, what are you accomplishing?
You can't stab someone in the parking lot of an elementary school. Granted, you can't stab someone anywhere, but you really can't stab someone in the parking lot of an elementary school. That is just wrong.
What did you think you would gain?
Yeah.
You know,
Did you think the whole thing was going to be dropped?
I mean,
you're like, if I stab this person, I win the argument, and we're all going to go about our life. No, that's not how that works. At all.
You ruined your weekend.
So now you're probably going to miss more than just the 5th grade graduation.
Yeah.
There's a chance you're going to mix the 6th and 12-year graduation for sure. 99.7 The Blitz.
Now, let's see if we can learn you something. Sit up and pay attention.
Yeah, let's make you a little bit smarter than you were when you woke up today. Little tidbits of information you get to take with you into your holiday weekend. Maybe if you're standing around at a holiday weekend barbecue, you can impress everyone with how much you know. Or you're just going to sound like the drunk uncle. Hey, did you know? Like this tidbit of information. The record for the most flowers sold in a single day. Do you want to take a guess, Thick? I can tell you this. It was the day that a famous person died. And it was the most flowers sold in one day.
I mean...
August 17th, 1977.
What was going on? So it was about the person?
Yes.
It was a famous person.
August 17th, 1977.
Dude, I'm just drawing a blank. I'm sorry. I have no clue.
The day Elvis died.
Oh, wow.
The record for most flowers sold in a
So
single day.
that many people sent flowers?
Yeah. Yep.
That's incredible.
If you're in a room with 70 people, statistically, there is a 99.9% chance that at least 2 of them will have the same birthday. Just 70 people. And then, if you're in a room with just 23 people, there's still a 50% chance that 2 of them will have the same birthday. That seems kind of odd.
Wait. Okay.
Like mathematically,
yeah.
You would figure for there to be a 99.9% chance, you would have to have 363 people in a room. But no,
yeah,
it's
how
just,
is that?
I don't know. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a statistician. I don't know.
That doesn't seem right.
Okay, well, you argue with the website betterexplained.com and tell them it doesn't seem right.
Okay.
You do the math.
All right, it doesn't math in my head.
You're right. It doesn't seem like the math is mathing.
No, not in my head.
But it is. The phrase "close but no cigar" comes from carnivals in the early 1900s. Because, well, they used to give out cigars as prizes for winning games.
Yes, that's right.
So, close,
but no cigar.
Let's see here. Oh, the average person's attention span for a single screen is 47 seconds. Wow. Isn't that scary? Here's what's even scarier. That's down from 2.5 minutes in 2004. So in 20 years, We've gone from 2.5 minutes to 47 seconds. What's going to happen in the next 20 years?
That's
3-second videos. That's all we're going to be able to take.
I know. And that's what people do with, these videos they make now. That's why the reels are such a big thing.
Yeah, if you're not...
I got 30 seconds max for you, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I got to get to the next video, and the next video, and the next video. And 5 hours later, you've watched 1,000 videos.
Yeah, if you're not catching my attention in the first 5 seconds, then I'm scrolling on by. And
you
finally...
miss a lot.
Yeah,
miss a lot.
absolutely. Finally, Boise State University, if you're a college football fan, you know that they are famous for their blue turf on their football field.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember it was years ago, they pulled a trick play on a kickoff where one of their players laid down because their uniforms matched the turf.
Yeah.
And you literally couldn't see him, and he jumped up and caught the ball and ran for a touchdown.
They are known for some trick plays. I mean, they used one, was it to beat Alabama? When they Statue of Liberty or whatever it was they did. I think it was at Alabama. Anyway,
it was, here's the deal.
Huge upset.
They have actually trademarked the idea of having a non-green artificial turf field. So if anyone else in the world wants to do it, they need Boise State's permission to not use the normal green color.
Not to use blue, to not be green.
Right.
Any color.
Yeah.
That was smart.
Yeah, very smart.
To just say, instead of just saying to use a blue field.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Much, much smarter than some college trying to trademark the word "the," which is just, how are you going to trademark the word "the"?
I just wanted to leave a little silence for the audience to go, there's Goose in his Michigan crap. But I'm with you.
Yeah.
How do you trademark "the"?
Right.
I mean,
come on
anybody can use that word. It's a regular word.
The most common word in the English language. You're going to try to trademark it.
Do you suppose they did it just to get people around the country talking about it?
Oh, totally.
They had to know there was no chance.
Yeah. For sure.
Because they wanted me to be able to have a Buckeye hat that just said "the" and everybody would know what it was.
Right.
But
at the same time, if you were wearing that exact same hat you're wearing now, with the red and the gray front and the logo, if the logo wasn't there and it was just big red THE, you would know exactly what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, even with it not trademarked.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So just do it.
Yeah, just make the stuff. I think we do. I think they do. There is some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is.
What's the problem? There you go. Learning some stuff on a Friday morning, 99.7 The Blitz.